We're here tonight speaking with some parents from Lakewood Public Schools who unfortunately have had to go through the litigation process to get what they deserve and they are entitled to. I introduce you to Mrs. Uzi to my right and Beatrice Soto to my right. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. If I could ask you, Mrs. Soto, your child, without saying your child's name, your child went to which school?
Clark School.
Clark School. And currently, Mrs. Soto's child has been home for about 4 months.
4 months.
And we are currently at the Office of Administrative Law looking for the child to get an appropriate education. The board has told, when I say the board, the employees who are involved, even told Mrs. Soto, who's from Costa Rica, is that right?
Yes.
Their answer was to take the child back to Costa Rica. Is that what they told you?
Yeah, with my grandmother.
With your grandmother, where she lives in Costa Rica?
Yes.
And that was what Mrs. Soto was subjected to. I don't know why an employee would tell Mrs. Soto to take her child, who has some issues, we're not denying that, but to tell her to take him back to Costa Rica, that is not the solution. We go to Mrs. Uzi. Mrs. Uzi is from Israel. Her husband is from England. They also, and just so we are understanding, Mrs. Uzi and her husband went to Lakewood Public Schools. It's not like they didn't try Lakewood Public Schools. They went to the Early Learning Center, and then they went to, was it Oak or Clifton?
It's Clifton.
Clifton Avenue. And they too, she has twins, very cute twins, who are autistic. And Mrs. Uzi and Mr. Uzi felt that they were not getting what they were entitled to, which we're not looking for Lexuses, we're not looking for Cadillacs, we're looking for what's called FAPE, a free and appropriate public education. Prior to obtaining me, both these parents tried to work it out on their own. In fact, when the Uzis came to me, I said, go try to work it out, go speak to employees, go speak to the director of special education, go speak to the superintendent, and unfortunately that did very little. We actually took the district to court, and on the Uzi's case, we won. Both children now go to a state-approved school called the Yale School. It's approved by the New Jersey Department of Education. And the district, in our opinion, wasted tax dollars by fighting these families. The Uzis obviously paid me to represent them, but the district, once they lost, had to reimburse them to pay me, pay their evaluators, and pay for both boys to go to the Yale School and transport them. Easily more than $200,000 if you figure all the costs. But luckily, and how do you like the Yale School?
I like it. I had nothing like I dreamed about it more.
And what's different from Yale, which is state approved by the New Jersey Department of Education, and where you were at Clifton?
The main difference is Yale is specialized just in high function autism. They are not mixing any other problems, not behavioral issues, they are not taking low function together with high function, just high function autistic kids. In Clifton, it was mixed completely. Low function, high function, very bad behavioral kids that have very severe behavioral issues that really impact on my kids. Mixing all problems together.
And that's the problem. Unfortunately, in many districts, I sue districts throughout the state, but unfortunately we're seeing where, for economic reasons, for other reasons, these self-contained classes are basically becoming holding grounds for all types of disabilities. And obviously, just like, God forbid, if someone needs brain surgery, they're not going to Kimball Medical Center. The same, they go to NYU or CHOP or something like that. The same if you have a child, and the anomaly of these children, the Uzis, if I can, is they're high-functioning kids, but they do have Asperger's or autism, and they needed specialized instruction. As part of the settlement with the district, we also got, you're getting home services, is that right? How many hours a week?
It's 10 hours a month.
10 hours a month. Where actually the skills that they learn in school are generalized beyond the school day, which is really the ABCs of autism, but that was never offered by the district, was it?
No.
Okay. These are the Uzi boys? Uzi. Okay.
Uzi.
And what school did you go to before Yale? I think Clifton Avenue?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like your new school?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Go to Campbell right now.
Oh, You go to camp too? Okay, good.
On summer program.
And there's a summer program too. Her child, Mrs. Soto's child, and with her permission I'm saying this, Mrs. Soto works a full-time job. Her husband, unfortunately, was killed at a work site. He was at a work site in Trenton. The district wouldn't even classify her child. Forget about giving him the right services, but said there's nothing wrong, even though they suspended him time after time after time. And we're not talking for drugs, and we're not talking for knives. We're talking he has some behavioral issues, but yet a smart kid. So the district decided, guess what? He's so smart he doesn't need extra help, but yet he needs to stay home. So we did go to court twice already. We got the district to provide home instruction, and we got the district to pay for evaluations, but now we're looking for schools where kids of high intelligence or average intelligence go, but you can get the specialized behavioral supports. And you tried to work this out with the district before you came to me, correct?
Yes.
And what was the result?
No, they don't help me.
They don't help
They
you.
say send direct to Costa Rica, you bury your mother, and a lot of the things they talk to me.
And we have witnesses from Lakewood Board of Ed, employees who have signed and told us that the statements Mom is making, unfortunately, are true. Thank you. Thank you.